In the news this week, the Prime Minister backs the right of Christians to speak about their faith at work, the Institute responds to calls for no-fault divorce, and hundreds of thousands of Northern Ireland residents have signed a petition against abortion. Hello. The Prime Minister has said that Christians should feel free to speak about their faith in the workplace. Responding to a question in Parliament, Theresa May said the UK has a strong tradition of religious tolerance and free speech.
We have a very strong tradition in this country of religious tolerance and freedom of speech, and our Christian heritage is something we can all be proud of. And I'm sure we would all want to ensure that people at work do feel able to speak about their faith and also feel able to speak quite freely about Christmas. Yeah.
The Prime Minister was responding to concerns raised by MP Fiona Bruce that many Christians are worried about mentioning their faith in public. A report by the Equality and Human Rights Commission has hit out at organisations that discipline Christians or drop references to Christianity for fear of causing offence. The report references several cases where believers were treated unjustly, including Institute client Adrian Smith. But it stops short of calling for change and backs the disappointing decision against hoteliers Peter and Hazel Mary Bull. Responding to the report, the Institute's Simon Calvert called for a change in the law to reasonably accommodate religious beliefs.
Well, it's a relief, of course, to see the Human Rights Commission standing up for freedom of religion or belief. But of course, they're wrong to say that the law doesn't need changing. The Christian Institute's Legal Defence Fund is helping Christian people all the time, and often one of the reasons why Christian people are marginalised is because of equality law itself. So we actually need to amend equality law to write into it this concept of reasonable accommodation if Christians are to be treated more fairly.
His call was echoed in a new report by influential think tank Res Publica. Its report highlights mounting evidence that sexual orientation discrimination rights are undermining the right to manifest a religious belief. More than 100 lawyers have marched on Parliament calling for the government to weaken divorce laws. Family lawyer group Resolution is pushing for a no-fault clause to be added to the current divorce law. But the Christian Institute has warned that any attempt to weaken marriage further would be extremely damaging to society. Institute Director Colin Hart said we should fight to keep marriages together.
It's a very damaging idea to add a no-fault divorce clause into our laws on divorce. It sends out the message that marriage matters less than a hire purchase agreement. The current law has a mixture of fault grounds like adultery and separation grounds. Introducing a fully fledged no-fault clause will make it much easier for people to get divorced. It's a liberalising measure, it's a conveyor belt to divorce, making it much quicker and slicker, and that's very damaging because people need to think very seriously about this big step. We know that 10,000 couples every year change their minds about getting divorced, and we want to fight to keep marriages together rather than to split them up.
Family breakdown in the UK is estimated to have cost the taxpayer £47 billion last year. A pro-life petition with 300,000 signatures has been delivered to the Northern Ireland Assembly. It calls for the protection of unborn children in the province after recent efforts to legalise abortion in cases of severely life-limiting disabilities. Speaking at the delivery of the signatures, MLA Jim Wells said he believed it was the largest petition ever received at Stormont. The Northern Ireland government recently received a pro-abortion petition with 45,000 signatures, but campaign group CARE have highlighted serious flaws with it. The petition does not ask you for an address or postcode. It makes it possible for people to sign the petition more than once under a fake name, and more worryingly, there is no requirement for the signature to be from Northern Ireland. At present, abortion is only allowed in Northern Ireland in cases where there is a serious risk to the mother's life. Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.